The pilot only needs to turn his head. That's all the MiG-29 Fulcrum needs. The helmet-mounted sight locks the target. No radar, no warning. The R-73 leaves the rail, driving straight into the air ahead. On the other side, the F-16 Fighting Falcon just picks up an RWR alert. Warnings spike instantly. The cockpit flashes red non-stop. One side relies on close-range instinct, striking at extremely short distance. The other depends on electronic systems, optimized to kill from range. Raw muscle meets calculated intelligence. Over the Middle Eastern battlefield, there is no room for error. Whoever detects first controls the fight. Whoever hesitates doesn't make it home. Forget the textbook theories and perfect spec sheets. This clash between the F-16 Fighting Falcon and the MiG-29 Fulcrum has been tested in real combat conditions. Declassified fragments and unstable gun cam footage reveal a very different reality. This is not a controlled environment, but a fight where the smallest mistake is fatal. We will break down why Iran continues to rely on the MiG-29 in critical air defense roles, and how the F-16 uses sensors and weapons to dominate the fight from beyond visual range. The truth lies in how each system performs under extreme pressure. Not on paper, but in the seconds that decide survival. What you're about to see may completely change how you view this matchup. Pull the stick. The mission begins. The United States once paid the price for its own design philosophy. Heavy fighter aircraft over Vietnam could not keep up with a war that demanded speed, reaction, and agility. That failure was not only tactical. It exposed a deeper issue in how air combat platforms were designed and deployed. The lightweight fighter program was launched in response. The goal was not incremental improvement, but a complete shift in capability and doctrine. General Dynamics made a radical engineering choice. The F-16 Fighting Falcon was designed with inherent aerodynamic instability. The center of gravity was intentionally shifted rearward. This reduces aerodynamic resistance in control surfaces and allows faster response to pilot input. The trade-off is absolute dependence on electronics. Without computer assistance, the aircraft cannot maintain stable flight. The fly-by-wire system constantly adjusts control surfaces in real time. It allows the aircraft to operate at the edge of aerodynamic limits without losing control. These decisions directly support a strategic objective. The aircraft must deploy quickly, strike at distance, and return without delay. The technical specifications reflect that doctrine clearly. They are the result of operational requirements, not arbitrary design choices. An empty weight under 18,000 pounds reduces overall mass. This improves acceleration, climb rate, and fuel efficiency during transit phases. A maximum takeoff weight of 42,000 pounds supports a different requirement. It allows the aircraft to carry large fuel reserves and heavy weapon loads for extended missions. The gap between these values creates operational flexibility. The same platform can be configured for air superiority or deep strike missions. A range of 1,740 nautical miles extends operational reach. It allows the missions to be launched from secure bases far from the front line. This reduces vulnerability while maintaining offensive capability. It is a direct expression of expeditionary warfare doctrine. Inside the cockpit, Human physiology is also part of the design equation. The pilot must remain functional under extreme physical stress. The seat is reclined at 30 degrees. This position helps maintain blood flow to the brain under sustained 9 gravitational forces. The control system is minimized to reduce unnecessary movement. A side-mounted control stick replaces traditional central controls. It does not rely on large physical motion. It detects pressure input from the pilot's hand with very small displacement. This increases precision at high speed. It also reduces the risk of overcorrection during intense maneuvering. The aircraft operates as an integrated system. The pilot provides intent, and the onboard computer executes with precision. On the opposite side, the Soviet Union faced a different strategic reality. They did not prioritize long-range operations. They prioritized immediate interception and territorial defense. The European theater was expected to escalate rapidly. Forward air bases could be neutralized within the opening, on phase of a conflict. The PFI program was built to address this scenario. Aircraft had to launch quickly, climb rapidly, and engage targets without delay. The MiG-29 Fulcrum embodies that doctrine. Its 40,000-pound class weight reflects structural and operational priorities. It balances durability, engine output, and survivability in contested environments. The leading-edge root extension design increases lift across the fuselage. This enables controlled flight at extremely high angles of attack. The operational purpose is clear. In close-range combat, the ability used to rapidly orient the nose determines engagement outcome. The twin Klimov RD-33 engines generate a combined thrust of 39,600 pounds. This supports rapid acceleration and aggressive climb performance. Maximum speed reaches Mach 2.25. Climb rate exceeds 65,000 feet per minute under optimal conditions. These figures are not intended for sustained cruise. They are designed for short, high-intensity interception windows. Fuel consumption reflects that priority. High thrust output results in significantly increased fuel burn rates. Approximately 3,500 kilograms of internal fuel can be consumed quickly. Combat radius is therefore limited to less than 500 miles. Short mission durations are a direct consequence. Some operational sorties have been recorded at approximately 16 minutes. This aligns with the intended role: launch, intercept, engage, and return immediately. The dual air intake system is also a response to battlefield conditions. Soviet planners anticipated damaged runways and debris contamination. Foreign object ingestion could destroy a jet engine instantly. Preventing that risk became a design requirement. During ground operations, the main intake beneath the fuselage is sealed. Airflow is redirected through upper intake louvers along the spine. This reduces exposure to debris. It allows operation from rough or damaged airfields. This system does not enhance speed or maneuverability. It ensures operational continuity under degraded conditions. The underlying philosophy is clear. One design prioritizes range, flexibility, and systems integration. The other prioritizes immediate response, raw performance, and survivability. Every specification embedded in these aircraft is the direct result of those strategic decisions. Hold on. Stop right there. Put yourself in the cockpit right now. Alarms are screaming, and you only have seconds to decide. What do you choose? The F-16 Fighting Falcon or the MiG-29 Fulcrum? One side offers stability, precision, and total electronic control. The other brings raw power, fast reflexes, and brutal survivability. There's no time to analyze. You make the call now. Type it below. F-16 or MiG-29. Pick your side and see who really owns the sky. At long range, the F-16 is a tyrant. The F-16 fighting Falcon controls the battle space before the human eye can even see the target. The radar starts sweeping. The APG-68 sends continuous pulses, building a combat picture out to 284 miles. A contact appears. A small blip on the screen, but the outcome is already set. Target locked. The computer processes data, predicts trajectory, and calculates intercept in milliseconds. A IM-120 AMRAAM launches. A fire-and-forget missile leaves the rail, guiding itself with active radar in the terminal phase. No need to stay engaged, Source. The F-16 can turn away, disengage, and still control the fight. This is the American way of war. Engage first, kill first, deny the enemy any chance to respond. On the other side, the situation is very different. The MiG-29 Fulcrum enters BVR with a structural disadvantage. The N019 radar begins scanning. But detection range is limited to roughly 81 to 90 miles under ideal conditions. Distance must be closed. That means the MiG-29 has to push forward into the fight. The R-27 is launched. A powerful medium-range missile, but dependent on the aircraft's radar. Semi-active guidance. The pilot must keep the nose pointed at the target until impact. No early turn away. No safe disengagement. That's the critical weakness. The MiG-29 locks itself into a straight-line commitment during the engagement. And that's when the balance shifts. The moment it enters effective range, it also enters the F-16's kill zone. The AMRAAM is already airborne and closing fast at supersonic speed with its own radar lock. There's no early warning advantage, and no time left to recover. One side fires and leaves. The other must commit and accept maximum risk. Bring the fight under 10 miles. Everything changes instantly. Radar no longer decides the outcome. The fight becomes reflex, angles, and energy control. This is where the tables turn. The MiG-29 Fulcrum steps into its domain. Twin RD-33 engines roar. Total thrust reaches 39,600 pounds, launching the jet like a projectile. Acceleration spikes hard. Climb rate exceeds 65,000 feet per minute, cutting straight into the sky. Afterburners ignite. Exhaust tears through the air, leaving a violent trail. Source of heat. At high speed, it's dangerous. At low speed, it becomes lethal. Below 200 knots. The MiG-29 still retains control where others begin to lose it. Angle of attack increases sharply. The blended wing body generates enough lift to hold nose authority. Below 100 knots, it can still point the nose and engage in a regime where aerodynamics break down. This is nose-pointing authority. The ability to aim independent of flight path decides who fires first. This is the kill zone. The F-16 fighting Falcon starts losing its edge. Energy tactics are no longer enough. At very low speed, it cannot outpoint its opponent. No distance to exploit sensors. No space to reset the fight. Only seconds remain. One pull, one turn, one trigger press. In that moment, not technology, but position and reflex decide everything. Whoever points first survives. The most decisive weapon is not on the wing. It sits directly on the pilot's head of the MiG-29 Fulcrum. It is the helmet-mounted sight system, a targeting system integrated directly with the R-73 Archer infrared missile. This combination is revolutionary. It creates a lethal cone of approximately 45 degrees in front of the aircraft. There is no need to align the nose. The pilot does not need to maneuver the aircraft into a traditional firing position. He only needs to look, and the target is locked almost instantly. The lock tone sounds. The missile leaves the rail in a fraction of a second and drives toward the target. This changes the rules of engagement. It breaks the traditional dogfight logic that Western pilots were trained to follow. Pilots in the F-16 fighting Falcon were not prepared for this. They were trained to point the aircraft before firing. The MiG-29 does not need that. For step. It can engage from angles that the F-16 cannot immediately counter. Real exercises exposed this gap. United States pilots flying against German MiG-29 units were shocked by the results. In one-on-one engagements, MiG-29 pilots repeatedly achieved lock and simulated kills from unexpected angles. The results were difficult to accept. Some pilots initially rejected the reports and reacted with frustration. It was a doctrinal shock. The MiG-29 does not just maneuver, it kills faster than expected. But close-range power does not decide everything. Modern warfare is shaped by range, logistics, and integrated systems. Iran operates the MiG-29 in real combat conditions, but it faces harsh and unavoidable limitations. The MiG-29 is fuel-hungry. Its twin RD-33 engines consume extreme amounts of fuel when afterburner is engaged. Fuel burn increases dramatically. It can reach 3.5 to 4 times higher than the F-16 fighting Falcon under similar conditions. Combat time is severely restricted. A mission may last only around 16 minutes from takeoff to landing. There is no margin for error. Pilots cannot extend engagements or pursue targets for long durations. They cannot hunt unproactively. With limited fuel and outdated radar, beyond visual range combat becomes extremely risky. Direct confrontation is suicidal. The ecosystem of F-35 and F-16 aircraft from the United States and Israel dominates beyond visual range combat. So the doctrine changes. The MiG-29 is pushed back into its original Soviet role. Passive point defense. It does not hunt, it waits. Aircraft remain on the ground. They launch only when an intrusion is detected. They take off under harsh conditions. The auxiliary intake system allows operation from rough, debris-covered runways. On interception is fast and aggressive. Speed and maneuverability are used to close distance in minimal time. Cruise missiles are hunted down. Reconnaissance unmanned aerial vehicles are destroyed before completing their mission. Then they disengage immediately. Landing before fuel exhaustion becomes critical for survival. This is not dominance. This is survival under constant disadvantage. Cold War machines, struggling to adapt in 21st century high-technology warfare. So, back to the original question. Who survives? The truth is simple. Distance is the line between life and death. If the fight is forced into tight space, if both are dragged into a close-range dogfight, the MiG-29 Fulcrum takes the advantage. Extreme maneuverability combined with helmet-mounted targeting and the R-73 creates an overwhelming edge. This is the phone booth scenario. No space, no distance, no room for tactics. In that environment, the F-16 has almost no chance to reset position. One correct glance. One lock within a 45-degree cone. When the missile leaves the rail instantly, and the fight ends before the pilot can react. The Soviet-built monster dominates close range. Fast, brutal, and unforgiving. But modern warfare does not work like that. No pilot willingly enters the enemy's kill zone. Pilots of the F-16 fighting Falcon understand this. They control distance before the enemy can close in. Beyond 20 miles. That is the ideal engagement zone. Radar locks from range. Data is processed continuously to maintain situational awareness. The AIM-120 AMRAAM is launched. A fire and forget missile that does not require continuous guidance. The pilot turns away. But the attack continues toward the target. This is the sniper principle. Kill before the enemy can even reach you. Meanwhile, the MiG-29 is constrained. The R-27 forces the pilot to keep flying toward the target. No early turn. No safe disengagement. They are forced forward, even when they know they are already in danger. This is a structural weakness. And in modern warfare, that weakness is fatal. The F-16 fighting Falcon does not win because it turns better. It wins because it thinks better. This is not just an aircraft. It is a complete weapons system. Better sensors, longer vision, superior situational awareness, full control of the battle space. F-16 pilots see the entire board, while MiG-29 Fulcrum pilots fight with limited information. One side is supported by airborne early warning systems. The other must handle everything alone inside a constrained cockpit. That difference decides the outcome. Not in one fight, but across history. Real conflicts have proven it. From Operation Desert Storm to Operation Allied Force. MiG-29. On aircraft were repeatedly shot down, while F-16 aircraft maintained a dominant combat record. This is not theory. This is a conclusion written in combat. In modern warfare, electronic intelligence has defeated raw muscle. Failures do not disappear. They leave scars in the sky and in doctrine. The MiG-29 Fulcrum paid the price. Limited radar and weak beyond visual range missiles led to repeated losses against United States fighters. That is an undeniable reality. A blood-written lesson of modern air combat. But the Russians did not stand still. They refused to accept defeat as a final conclusion. They studied every engagement. They dissected every wreck to find the weakness. From failure, they rebuilt. From the ashes, they reforged their weapon. A new generation was born. Not to fix flaws, but to erase them. Completely. Radar was transformed. A powerful phased array system capable of wide area detection and tracking. Engines became more than thrust. They control direction through three-dimensional thrust vectoring. Maneuverability reached extreme levels. Moves once considered impossible became operational reality. All of it converged into one platform. The Sukhoi Su-35. A Generation 4.5 fighter. Designed to eliminate every critical weakness of the MiG-29. This is not the end. It is the next level of escalation. The Sukhoi Su-35 does not fight alone. It faces the most advanced Western systems head-on. The F-35 Lightning II and the F-16 Fighting Falcon. A new confrontation begins, where technology, tactics, and geopolitics collide directly. There is no time to hesitate. The answer is already on your screen. Click the next video now and continue decoding the war in the sky.